Hey everybody, Lady Cheryl here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I hope you'll like this video, subscribe, and even share it to your friends. It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. This is the weather I kept praying for when it was so hot in North Texas. Today, I'm going to start some seeds. Yep, everything is growing so nice and I'm so happy. But I'm going to start more seeds today. I'm going to direct sow them where I want them to go. And I can breathe. I don't lose my breath so fast when it's not so hot. It's currently 75 degrees. The high will be around 86. And I'm telling you, I love it. Now I could put everything outside without fear of it burning up. I lost a few plants that I transplanted carefully. If you lose some, it's okay. It's only a few seeds. Only less than a penny. Here's an update of the first garden bed that I planted out. Most of the seedlings survived. I'm sorry about my shadow being there. And I just want you to know that I'm going to put a few seeds where maybe the seedlings didn't hold up well. And I decided I'm going to put some rutabaga seeds here, and then I'll label them. I'll come right back and show you. I realize now that I don't have that much space, so I'm just going to pop a few rutabaga seeds right in here, this area here, because I have some society garlic coming, and I'm gonna really put a lot in this bed. And the next one, society garlic repels insects. The rutabaga seeds are very tiny, and they can grow up to 8 inches in diameter, and they take between 70 and 80 days to mature. So I'll have plenty of time before our first heavy freeze to harvest some. So I'm going to go right down this row and just sprinkle a few seeds. Now I'm just going to smooth over a little soil. The ground is still damp, but I'm going to mist it very lightly and be sure to put my label right there. Please remember that these 2 new garden beds that I purchased, the other one is over there, they are 2 feet deep, okay? And because I knew that I was going to only be growing brassicas, winter crops in here, I filled the garden beds with soil up to 1 foot. That way I can cover directly on top of here a netting to keep the insects out, and then I can use a frost cloth on top of that. And then in the spring, when I start growing my spring crops, I would raise the soil level up here by adding more potting mix. Okay? So there's a reason for everything. I don't want any new subscribers or new gardeners to look at this and think that they can use garden beds half full. I decided to make a row of parsnips right here. You can see where I trenched it out. I'm just going to add the seeds, cover it, put a label on it, and then just lightly mist it. Parsnips here and rutabaga right over here. And you can see that I put some of the marigolds that I was growing inside out here to detract insects. Here are my parsnip seeds. It would take about 100 days for them to mature, and they can take temperatures up to 32 degrees. So I'm going to put them on the end and label them, and hopefully I'll be able, I shouldn't say hopefully, I'm going to harvest them. The Lord's going to bless me with a harvest. I'm claiming it in the name of Jesus. And I mean that. I might be laughing, but I'm sincere. I'm going to plant these, and I'm going to mist them with water. When watering your seeds, this is very important, be sure to use a low mist selection on your nozzle there, because you don't want the seeds to be embedded deeply in the soil. Now, the rutabagas will come up relatively soon. It's going to take a week or 2 for the parsnip to come up. So don't get discouraged and plant more seeds too quick. Give it at least 2 weeks and don't flood them. And you're going to have to water those seeds every day. Here is my celery that I'm growing in a pot. You may recall me telling you that I grew them upstairs and transplanted them outside. It was still too hot. I think it was about 95 degrees when I planted them outside. So some of them didn't make it. Am I worried or upset? No. What I'm going to do today, I have just a few left of these pink Chinese celeries, a different variety from the ones over here. And I got a few seeds and I'm going to place them. It's going to take about a week or two for them to germinate. Celery can take a temperature as low as 27 degrees. So don't have to worry about covering them up unless we're going to get a real low temperature. And the way the weather has been changing, that happens sometimes in North Texas. And what I'll do is I'll pick the pot up, put it close to a fence. Isn't that a beautiful butterfly? Okay, guys, let me see. Yeah, see it? Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful butterflies. I love it. I can sit out here for hours and just watch the butterflies. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, the low temperature for celery can go down to 27 degrees. I've got just a few little seeds in here and I'm going to sprinkle them. Next, I'm going to grow 1,000 head kale. Now this can take a very low temperature, 25 degrees. Some people say a little bit lower than that, but I will cover it with a frost cloth in the event that it's going to drop to freezing. I love this kale because it grows large, as the picture indicates, and I like to roll them up to make sandwiches. You know how you roll up like burritos? I love this particular kale for that. So I'm growing what I like. Now, I grow some things for my daughter and my 2 sons if they want it, and for my grandchildren, but I'm going to be honest with you. This, I'm growing for me. I love to make kale wraps. You can put whatever meat that you like to eat in it, cut up your veggies and roll it up, cut it in half, and it is wonderful. All in here, I'm going to plant 1,000 head kale, and then I'm going to put a few Detroit red beets. They can take a low temperature too. As you can see here, the seeds are very small, and I made 3 rows. You probably can barely see it. And then right across the back here, I'm going to plant the beets. I plant the beets closest to this end so that I can harvest them before I have to harvest all the kale. So I'm just going to take these seeds and I'm going to go in here like so, and I'm just going to sprinkle a few all the way down this row and this row. And I'll come over here. Hope you can see that. And sprinkle. I think I'm gonna pick up a few more and put them in there. So we'll sprinkle a few more here, and a few more over there, and right here. And then I'm just gonna cover it up lightly. Cover it up, press down, cover it up, press down, cover it up, and press down. And then I'll make a label and I'll put 3 rows right here. I'm gonna sprinkle the beet seeds right in here, 1 little row, and more than I would need because they're old. And we're gonna go just cover them up a little bit with soil and let them germinate. And I already made the sign here and here. So now I'm going to water the seeds in. And remember, water them every day. This is my handsome son, Brian, and he's going to help me plant some society garlic today. He had football practice. He's a little tired now, but I told him he would only be out here 15 minutes. Let me show you how beautifully the society garlic I already have in my garden flowers certain times of the year, in the spring and when we get cooler temperatures in the fall. Let me see if I can find some more. Right here. Okay, I have a lot of them blooming. But this is the thing, guys. You see these 2 garden beds that I'm growing my fall brassicas in? And here's the other one over here that I showed you that I planted seeds yesterday. We needed to order more society garlic to put in these beds. And I'm going to tell you guys, this garlic that I ordered from a merchant on eBay is the best society garlic bulbs I've ever received. So quite naturally, I ordered them again. And I don't like to refer people to different merchants because if they have a bad experience, you know, it comes back on you. But this lady, I'm going to tell you guys, I know that she takes pride in her plants. And let me show you what they look like. Brian just opened them up. And they're real fresh. She digs them up. Hold them up this way, Brian. See how green those tops are? And then here are the bare root bulbs down in here. You want to take one out the package for me, Brian? She digs them up, guys, and ships them the same day you order them, or the next day, depending on what time of day that you order. So we got all of these brassicas planted in these 2 garden beds, and we know we're going to be attracting that ugly cabbage moth. You can take it all the way out and lay it on the ground, please. So we're going to deter the insects with the pungent smell of the society garlic. And you can check my YouTube playlist for insect control or insect repellents, and you can see how I use the society garlic everywhere that I can plant it. Okay, so Brian knows how to do this. He has been doing this for a long time. He knows how to propagate it. Like, for example, if I didn't have a lot of garlic, I would cut that right down there. Brian has done it for me. Several of my grandchildren. You see, this is actually 2 here. But anyway, we're not going to propagate it today, but in the spring or early next summer, we will. So, Brian, you're going to pick one up, and we're going to show you how we're going to outline the whole garden right here. This whole garden. Brian has dug a little hole there, and he's just going to make sure the roots go all the way down in there into the soil, and then he'll cover it up and press it down. You're going to mound the soil around it so it can stand straight up. You remember how we do it. Okay, you're going to put another one about 4 inches apart. Keep going. We got a lot of it. Going all the way around the border. Whatever you do, don't hit my kale. Make sure the roots are all the way in. Squeeze the soil around it. Stand it up straight. And then we'll come back when we have the whole bed planted. All right, we have everything planted. And the name of the merchant that I got those good, healthy society garlic from is Great Finds and Great Prices. And I will link in the comment section and the description box of this video. I'll link a link to her eBay store. And I want you to see that we put the society garlic around the border, just like we asked God to be a fence around us, a protection. I'm asking that society garlic to distract some of the non-beneficial insects from eating up my brassicas. You know, that little ugly cabbage moth will lay worms, and they'll eat holes on the underside leaves of your brassicas. But this society garlic is very pungent. I wish we had smell-o-vision because it smells good and it is real strong, and it will keep the insects away. Let's show you the other. Check my insect control or repellent playlist for a lot of information on society garlic. Let me let you know that the reason why it was named society garlic, you know how you eat it and it comes through your pores, the smell, the scent? Society garlic does not, but it's very, very pungent, and it will repel insects. So we got it really nicely in the border. Now tomorrow I'm going to take some, like you can see that I started here, putting a few of them aphids, or that moth that lay the aphid eggs. They love beans and okra, so I'm going to put some in those pots. I put a few here with the tomato to disguise the fragrance of the tomato plant. And I'm going to tell you something. What I learned growing things hydroponically, you can really smell the tomatoes and squash and other things growing inside, especially basil and mint, you can smell it more so than you can when it's out in the open air. So we put one right there and one over here, and we put 2 in this dwarf tomato plant, and I'm going to put a lot more in my other containers. I believe I have some over here where the sweet potatoes are. I'm going to put a few where the carrots are over there. And the perpetual spinach, you can grow it in the summer or the winter. And I planted this in 107-degree temps, so I had some of it to burn up. So I reseeded it last week, and you can see they're coming up. So we'll have succession planting. Okie dokie. I think that's all I want to share with you today. And I'll be making more videos very soon. Thanks for watching, everybody. You know that I love you, and God loves you too. Bye now.